So we're going to go pretty quick here. This one is finding unknown angles. Okay, so how do we go about finding unknown angles? Let's say we want to know this angle right here. All right, this angle corresponds with this one right here. So this time I'm going to label up my triangle just so that it follows my formula. A, B, and C. Okay, now I'm going to sub in all the values I know, etc., etc., etc. Okay, this is value A, this is value B, and this is value C. So in my formula, I have A squared, so 4 squared, equals B squared, 6 squared, plus C squared, 3 squared, minus 2 times B, which is 6, times C, which is 3. I really like subbing those in brackets. I think it's a very good idea. And then we have cos whatever our angle is. We don't know what our angle is. We'll just call it A. Okay. Again, this is rearranging this. Students can find this a little bit tricky. So I'm going to 16, 36, 9, minus, and then it's this times this times this. It's connected. These are connected, right? Don't disconnect them. Don't think that you can subtract this from this. This says 2 times 6 times 3 times this, connected. Okay, negative 2 times 6 is negative 12, times 3 is negative 36, cos A. Okay, now remember, this term is all connected. I keep saying it over and over again. We have 16 minus 36 minus 9, so I've moved 36 and 9 over to here, is equal to negative 36 cos A. Okay, 16 minus 36 minus 9, I get negative 29 equals negative 36 cos A. And now this is when we can deal with this negative 36. We can divide both sides by negative 36. All right, very close to finishing here. I forgot a little s here. Let's put that in. So negative 29 divided by negative 36. I guess I could use my calculator. So my calculator just left it as a fraction, just said, well, that's just 29 over 36. So I'm going to go with what my calculator said. That's fine. Cos A. All right, now to get A by itself, we do inverse cos. So cos negative 1, 29 over 36 equals A. And then just type it into our calculator. So there's our answer, 36.34 degrees. That is that angle right there. Now, of course, you can do a little double check here just to make sure that it feels right. And what I mean by that is draw a length of 6, right? And then you draw everything else relative to that. 36 degrees, so that's about that much, right? Now, we know that that length's 3, so half of this length at that angle, so that's about there. And then draw that in. And ask yourself, if that's 6, and that's about 36 degrees, does that look like it's about 4? And that feels right. If the angle was larger, if it was like 60 degrees or something like that, that length is starting to get way too big to be 4. My triangle's broken. So doing a little double check at the end to see if things make sense. Now there is another way that you can go about this stuff. I don't recommend this way of doing things, but I want to show it to you so you know that it exists. Instead of starting with our formula looking exactly like that, which is how it appears on formula sheets in Maths Methods and Maths Specialist, instead of starting with a formula like that and subbing in our values and then rearranging it, what we can do is rearrange that formula before we've put any numbers in it at all. Alright, so rearranging this, we can say a squared minus b squared, minus b squared minus c squared equals negative 2bc cos A. Alright, so there's the first step of rearrangement. I can now say that a squared minus b squared minus c squared divided by negative 2bc equals cos A. And now I can say that A is equal to inverse cos of a squared minus b squared minus c squared over negative 2bc. Now that I've done that, I'm kind of finished, right? I can just sub in values 4, 6, and 3 for A, B, and C into here, here, and here. When I do that, I'm going to get the same answer as I did before. What I've seen some students do in the past is like memorize this formula, and whenever they want to find an angle, they just write that exact formula and just go for it. You can do that. You could do that if you wanted to. Just be aware that you have to memorize that formula. It will never be on a formula sheet. If you decide to go down that path, you would have to always have it in your head. This formula is always on your formula sheet, and if you're comfortable rearranging it, then you're fine. I guess if you're comfortable rearranging it the way I've just rearranged it like that and you can get to there, you can do that as well. So there's two methods of going about it. Either sub your values in and then rearrange to get the answer, or rearrange, sub in your values, get the answer, or never have to rearrange because you memorize this formula and just sub values in when you need to. Either of any of these will work, but the one that I showed you in the beginning of this video, kind of my preference. That's it.